check. Waiting for people to arrive. Very excited about today's episode. Hey, Andy. Off to a slow start, but I'm right on time. Ruby, you're back. How is Toronto treating you, North York? Hey, Nancy. Hey, Megan and Cara. Hey, Daryl. Well, let's see how it goes, Daryl. Kind of like a radio show today. We're going to do something a little bit different. Hey, Tracy. A little bit of Coppermind for Megan. Just a different view, Ken. Same venue. There's Mom and Dad. So this is kind of inspired by the Les Paul radio show. I'm plugging the guitar straight into the console with some EMT plate reverb and some tape delay. Play some vinyl, and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna play some guitar. Lots of talking, Ken. This one might do you in. I'm not planning on tuning today. So, let's see how this works. I'm going to play a little bit of vinyl. And those were kind of how I played and originally wrote some of the tunes on the first DB3 record. So I'm going to take out this red vinyl here. Let me see, how are we looking in the frame here? Not bad. Oh yeah, that's all good. Now, these come with cards, as you guys know. But don't worry, it's not going to be all plain vinyl. Look at that. In case if anybody doesn't have a copy, I think they need it. This is the debut record about 10 years ago. And let's play the Alan Parsons track. See how that sounds. It's going to be loud too. So those guitars are pretty much recorded live off the floor with, so is the bass, with Alan Parsons. And this vinyl comes with this card. What does it say? I can't remember. We shall call it the other Alan Parsons project. Now, I must say, Paul did. Hey, Helen. It's okay, Andy. I'm going to play a little bit. I haven't lost my mind. Don't worry. I mean, I have lost my mind a little bit, but this is like the 200 bazillionth show episode. So, Paul Reed did such a great job singing this. I think it's pretty amazing. We had 3 weeks to put vocals to a song for Alan's recording masterclass at Noble Street in Toronto. So that was done in 2012. Mixed by Rich Chicky, and that's a big SSL console, and Neve as well. You're hearing. Now, where's Steve the Thorpe? I was gonna during this little DB3 first album segment, I was gonna take some questions. If anybody had any, because I'm actually talking and not playing in this segment. Exactly, Terry Lynn. This is like a 1983 basement party. Cara, that's awesome. I think you have to stop going to Grateful Dead concerts immediately, Cara. I think it's becoming a problem. Either that, or maybe you should marry Bob Weir. I think one or the other. It's or maybe, well, now you've got what's his name to contend with? He's a hell of a guitar player. What's his name? The handsome guy who's in the Grateful Dead. John Mayer. You know, Paul did River of Gold, and he sang in the demo, and he also sang on Coppermine. And Michael Sadler did those songs with us. So he was more than gracious enough to have Michael take over those songs. And Michael did such a great job. It's really pretty great. And in case, I'm sure you guys know that on the Anthology record, we have Michael doing a version of Belmonte that Terry Brown mixed. So there's a few different versions of alternate versions on the Anthology David Barrett Trio thing that just came out like 6 months ago. And what was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, so there's a lot of alternate versions and tracks that were either released as singles or not released. And the Michael Sadler one was just not released. The single of Terry Brown mixing Belmonte with Paul Reed actually is out as well. So we have a few different things that we released different versions. So that was pretty cool. And this version of Disappearance is also on the Anthology because, I'm sorry, this is the album version. The single version is on Anthology. So we did stuff like that. Lots of different mixes, and it's all very, I wish I had more complete liner notes to make sense of it, you know? And that lead guitar is Big Al's Les Paul Gold Top. And that's his Stratocaster in the background. What did I miss? Terry Lynn, what did I miss? Claudia did something. Ruth the Almond. Hello, Ruth. Wow, listen to those bass pedals. The mastering was done at Le Lacquer Channel by Phil Dimitro, and he did a great job. And with all analog gear, and it really warmed things up. It sounds really amazing. Love the sound of this record. Not unlike the Rush Snakes and Arrows era, really. No, the Sadler tune, or the Sadler version of Belmonte was done a few years after, several years after this record was done. Hey, Nina. I think that's what you meant, Terry Lynn, right? Wow, those are real Moog Taurus bass pedals. Baby Ruth, I don't know. That might stick, Ruth. Now this is a long side. I don't know if we'll play all the whole side. We have some other things to get to. Maybe one more. What's next on this side? Oh, this is not. Yeah. That's the white Xanadu double neck. $10 for you, Ken. Have this brush, Andy. It works pretty good. Yeah, well, you know, that's all part of it. What can you do? Crackles. But it sounds great, doesn't it? I bet it sounds great over the internet. Now, I'm not really doing this in chronological order, but that's okay. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play some stuff that was influenced by the New Saugeen record, or New Soggy. And there's Arizona Michelle. Arizona Michelle knows her guitar music. And I think, is it Megan that likes this one? Now, these are tunes from the digital release of New Soggy, and that was broken up into a few different EPs. And this one was also on there, Rogers Hammerstein. And Cavatina's on there, right? I haven't done that yet, have I? Hey, Toronto Michelle. A little bit of Cavatina there, and some tunes that were on the digital versions that led up to this record. I'm putting the red vinyl away. Now, Steve the Thorpe, I know he likes the Deer Hunter, but I haven't seen Steve there yet tonight. Now, this one, I did the cover, and I recorded it myself, and I got Peter J. Moore to master it. And Paul redid this picture of me in Mexico, but more about that later. And this one was done on 180 gram vinyl, and I think the mastering job is really great. And I haven't heard it for a while. I better clean it for Andy here. My nice carbon brush from Executive Stereo on Avenue Road, who've been very good to us and where we've done our listening parties, which we were owed a listening party because COVID happened, and we never got to a listening party for this record. But we've kind of done a little bit of a thing with this, last year, didn't we? Now. Okay. I'm probably killing Tracy with my hi-fi etiquette here. And hello, Kyle, by the way. Hope you're well. Whoa, that's loud. I got to turn that down. The NAD preamp is going right into the mixer. See what this sounds like. Pretty cool. And this card comes with the record. It's got some information about tuning on the back. It's got the tuning listed. And the description of the guitar being a Dreadnought. Oh, that sounds pretty good. On the card it says Dreadnought, battleship, literally fearing nothing from dread, and plus not. Or a big guitar with a tremendous projection and booming bass. Now, don't shush, 67. Talk all you want. Yes, Andy, and the albums are, I have a box set, so $50 will get you all 3 vinyl, including shipping. And it arrives pretty quickly, no matter where you are in the world. Now, I was going to take this opportunity to tell you about a few records that I find kind of life-changing. So, I like talking about records, and I'm going to see how this segment goes. That's right, Arizona Michelle. Was that? You keeping score, Daryl? I missed some of this. Now, this is my attempt at a radio show. Everybody needs an Ace Frehley picture disc. And a Tormato picture disc, but that's not really what I'm here to talk about. They are great records, though. I got to tell you about a couple of rare records. This is an original pressing of Steve Vai, Flexible. This came out in 1983, and through mail order alone, he sold 100,000 copies. And it's self-produced, and it's a groundbreaking album. And I got it on eBay. It's hard to find. Almost like you just do not see it in the used record stores. And the other one that's impossible, which I might have shown you before, is Buckingham Nicks. Almost impossible to find. My brother found this in a used record store, and it was like $75. And it is like the record before the Fleetwood Mac record. Brune, I just had coffee with Terry earlier today, but I thought I had so much to yammer on about that I thought I wouldn't go with guests. I will do another guest episode, and maybe with the Crownlands guys, maybe with, speaking of Crownlands, this acoustic EP is fantastic, and their new record with Context on it is awesome, but they're putting out a lot of different just kind of EPs and one-off singles at a time. For those of you that were at Jacob Moon's and a concert at the Art Park, I'm on this record somewhere on the song Is That All You Got? I play steel guitar, 12-string loud, and some great tunes like Great Beyond, and that's his best of. I'm also on this record. This is John McMillan, who I produced a few of his records, and this is self-produced. Terry produced one of his records as well, and he recorded this himself, or I should say he produced it himself with Russ at Blue Sound, and it's a really fantastic record, and I played dobro on it, and that's John McMillan, so you can look that one up online. You like this commercial stuff, eh? Yeah, Flexible is great if you I guess you know it, eh, Daryl? This is a buddy of mine, Stephen Bennett. And Stephen, I introduced to Big Al way back about 15 years ago, and he got a credit on the Snakes and Arrows album. And he was kind of an inspiring guy, along with Tommy Emmanuel and others. And this is an orchestral record, and it's just fabulous. He's a great composer as well as the world's best harp guitar player. Now, since we're listening to, just because Larkin Poe are awesome, everybody should own this record. If this was the two sisters, it's an incredible roots rock record called Self-Made Man. Now, I'm very excited. I have to tell you about this. This is Pat Metheny's exploration into classical guitar. He's composed music for classical guitar that he has two different, one classical guitarist play the material, and then he has the LA Guitar Quartet play some other pieces, and then he plays a 42-string Linda Manzer guitar on side 4 of an Arvo Part tune. It's absolutely stunning. I just got it last week. If you like, it's in the same similar vein as the new Saugeen thing. I mean, I'm very inspired by Metheny, but it's just amazing modern composition. Some of the best guitar music available. And I just found this Lenny Breau record. It's a live recording from Los Angeles in 1969. And I saw Lenny Breau play when I was about 17. I was underage on Queen Street at the Bourbon Street Bar with my friend Brian. And this record is mind-blowing. And you won't find it anywhere. I can't believe I found it. Lenny Breau live. The Velvet Touch of Lenny Breau. Yeah, that track, Daryl, the 42-string one, may be a bonus track only available on vinyl. I'm not sure. I know you can find it on YouTube. I'll send you a link. It's incredible. Chris Thile, you guys hear me talk about Punch Brothers a lot. This is a must-have. It just came out called Lay Songs. Solo mandolin and voice. One of the best performers alive today. No joke. Wow, this is going to work out well. I'm going to time this just in time for the ending of this record. Brian Setzer, 10 years ago, Brian Setzer goes instrumental. Colored vinyl. Brian Setzer. Yes, Megan, that's Linda Manzer is a Canadian guitar luthier, and it's a harp guitar, so it has like a normal amount of strings, but then it has all these other drone strings that are both low pitch and very short and very high pitched, and they're kind of attached all over the body of the guitar. And so it's a 42-string guitar. He commissioned her to make the guitar about 25, 30 years ago, where he said, I want you to make me a guitar, but I want you to put as many strings as possible on it. There's a few other tracks that he's played on over the years that are really quite amazing, but this track is really worth hearing, and it's Arvo Parts for Alina. So maybe I'll post it in the DB Tribe page. Everybody needs this Les Paul, the new sound. You can find that because it's a new copy on 180 gram vinyl of all Les Paul's instrumental hits. Gretsch Goodness, you got that right. And now that I have a Gretsch, I kind of needed it, you know. Tommy Emmanuel, solo acoustic guitar. It's Tommy re-recording the best of Tommy songs. Highly recommend anything by Tommy. It's okay, there's only like 20 of them. I'm going to get through it all. I timed it. New Steve Howe instrumental record with some vocal tunes. I forgot we have one more tune on this side. Now this is a great album, Steve Howe solo, one of his many solo albums. Now this one's for Terry Lynn. Double vinyl, volume 1. There's vinyl 2 coming. Frank Marino. This is the best live Frank Marino that there is. And Frank Marino has got some great live recorded stuff, but this is his best playing, I think, called Real Live. Chavez Ravine, Ry Cooder. No, Ken, I got more to say. This is going to be very painful for you, this episode, I can guarantee you. I got a lot to cover. It's going to be fun. Chavez Ravine, Ry Cooder. That one's for Arizona Michelle. You'll love it. Now, I am broadcasting from Graceland North, Arizona Michelle. Secret location. Look at this record here. I'm going to do the next vinyl of Facing the Stones on white vinyl because it's just so cool. And this is a record that is not a very well-known record. It's Jimmy Page with the Black Crowes. And I know there's a lot of controversy when this record came out about people saying it's good or it's bad, and it's absolutely mind-blowingly great. The band and the guitar playing, there's 3 guitar players. It's just a stunning record, and I just can't believe how good it is. So I would highly recommend that. One other one that's kind of really inspired my broadcasts, and I will end off with this one, is Frank Zappa. Ironically titled, Ken, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar. This is one of the best guitar records ever. Really incredible. And again, hard to find. Three album box. What Devo do you have, Andy? And is it great? Juice in the Platinum Blonde Band, one of his favorite bands is Devo. The first one, well, you know what? Maybe I should get it. Oh, is that right? You really, Ruth the Almond? Do you listen to Shut Up and Play Your Guitar? It's amazing, and it's great if you have a lot of time because you wouldn't want to listen to it in just like short bits. You kind of want to put on a whole side and then another side, And I guess it has been uploaded to YouTube, but there was a lot of issues a few years ago with some of Frank Zappa stuff not being released. And now, of course, I think it's all kind of coming out, and they're doing a good job with releasing the old records. Thank you, Arizona Michelle. I love this record. I think it really turned out well, and it's something that I'd been putting off because it's just so hard to play classical guitar solo. Now, I wouldn't call it classical guitar, but I am playing a classical guitar, and it is modern composition, so nowhere really to hide, between effects and distortion and things like that. Oh, that's great, Ruth. Yeah, it's a winter record. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit, Andy, but I'm gonna so that is we got stereo echo, eh? Now, what I did with, what I like to do with each record is kind of give them a concept, give them a theme. And when we did the You hiked in the desert for 2 miles. Oh my. What's the temperature? what I did with the record, I had this concept thing, and I told Terry about it. I said I want to do an album where we have a song on each side. Originally, I wanted to do like Tales from Topographic Oceans, to do a double album with 4 songs, but it's kind of expensive, so whatever. So we did. It was much more feasible to do 2 songs. So we did. Well, that's bad, but that's not that bad. Yeah. So we did. We had these 2 songs, and they were both in 3 sections, and I wanted to do a kind of thing like Pink Floyd Ummagumma, you know, like. Well, that was on the, I think the first or second Pink Floyd record, but the live version was on Ummagumma, which is Pink Floyd record, double live record from around 1969 or so. And the great thing about Ummagumma is that it has all these longer improvised tunes, and it's also, there's also some solo type sections where they, have each kind of band member do a tune, and the David Gilmour one is amazing with all that echo. I forget what it's called, but anyway, so I wanted to do these songs that had a big shoegaze component to it, like some of the '90s bands that, like My Bloody Valentine, if you ever know them, and this section, the part 3 of Mayapan. Kind of thing where you just can jam on these 2 chords. And but the earlier sections of both songs on side 1 and 2 were much more orchestrated. So the plan was to have this 3 or 4 minute song and then have these 2 type of contrasting improvised sections that kind of stretch out and like go way atmospheric and way into improv land, like a lot of the jam bands, you know. So that's kind of what that was all about. So that's one of my favorite recording experiences with Terry and Kevin and Cody from Crownlands. And it's titled Mayapan, and Beneath the Desert is side 2. And it was just such an amazing experience working with those guys. Mayapan was recorded in a day, and Beneath the Desert was recorded in a day. And mostly, it's live off the floor, and with some heavy-duty overdubs that were some soundscapes created beforehand. And this cover was done by Paul Reed. Did a great job, and that photo is on the Mayapan pyramid site location. It's one of the Mexican pyramid sites that you can still climb up the pyramid. It's very cool. Now, this, Daryl, this is blue vinyl. Not nice? Now this was a bit of a homage to Steve Hackett, it's true. Very lo-fi. I love this album. We called that the Jimmy Page section. That modal scale is called Lydian, and Steve Vai uses Lydian a lot, so that's why it has a Steve Vai type sound, but also a very Steve Hackett type thing. The guitar used is the double neck, and we're both, Kevin and I are both playing our double necks, and we're playing what you hear is what was going on in the studio. It's live right off the floor. We're playing for real. This solo is live off the floor. Yeah, that's all the double neck. Later I switched to the 6-string Gibson ES-175 from 1967. That's Terry's panning. So that was great fun to record that one. And Arizona Michelle, yes. Mayapan is about half an hour outside of Satuta de Peon, which is the hacienda that I stay at in Mexico. And if you look on your map, it's outside of Merida. And Merida is in the Yucatan, and it's about half an hour, 20-minute drive from the Gulf of Mexico. And right above it is a town called Progreso. And if you drive 3 hours east, you'll hit Cancun, and you go a little bit south, and you're towards the Caribbean. But we're up there in the Yucatan. And what is so great is that the Mayapan site is a lesser-known site. It's not as famous as Chichen Itza or what's that other one? Really well known. Wow. The coffee's good. It's Balzac's, Andy. Tulum. Tulum is another popular spot. But there's several, and there's many that, like Edzna, which is in Campeche State, and there's lesser known pyramid sites that are absolutely mind blowing. There's one called Koba, and Tulum is great, but it's more popular, and it's below. It's about an hour and a half south of Cancun, and it's getting more popular. So it's definitely worth visiting, though, and right on the water. And all the pyramid sites are different. But what is special about Mayapan for some reason is that they have very traditional looking, one very large pyramid, and about another 12 or 13 other structures that all have different functions. And Yeah, where is Calgary Michelle? And well, that's where I met Calgary Michelle in Mexico. So she wants to go. So to make a long story short, I will be trying when COVID is over to do a retreat in Mexico for the for all the listeners and anybody who wants to come. And part of the whole thing is that on the property there are, I think now, 2 or 3 cenotes that are open, and they're amazing because they're lit up and you can swim in them, and they're quite mind-blowing. And as well as that, on the property there's a tour of the Henneken manufacturing, where they use the Henneken plant to make rope and other products. And like I said, the pyramid site is only about a half an hour away. So there's all this stuff that's really interesting that's kind of close by, and you get a different take on Mexico, because the Yucatan and Mayan culture is much different than what you would normally be familiar with is when you think of Mexico, when you think of Acapulco, when you think of the Pacific side. Yeah, and the food is unique too. So the other thing, Arizona Michelle, is that the food at the hacienda is all traditional Mayan cuisine. So even the food is different, and it's incredible. And each casita, where everybody has their own kind of standalone building, has got a plunge pool, and the out front, the plunge pool is the same water that is in the underground cenotes, actually comes up in your little plunge pool out front of your casita with your own little porch balcony thingy. Ken would like, I mean, it's not really a balcony, it's more of a porch enclosed area, you know. Yeah, there's some videos which I'm sure you've seen, Nina, and we're trying to lower the price and make it totally doable, and it's a lot better. The one thing that's a little difficult is that you can fly into Merida, but often we fly into Cancun and take a bus because it's just way cheaper to fly into Cancun, you know, and it's direct. Yeah, thank you, Daryl. That solo is live off the floor. This is like a real jam. There's no overdubs. There's no, it is what it is, and it's like a 6-minute guitar solo, but it's all one take. I'm just playing with the guys for real. You know, it's really a great experience. And Terry is a great producer and great to be in the studio with. What's a puddle jumper into Merida? Does that mean it's close by? Yeah, Merida is like super close. We go there often, and there's shopping and the outdoor markets and some restaurants and some there's a jazz club that is really cool. Yeah, it's and there's also and that's the old part of Merida. Merida has the oldest cathedral in North America that's even older than Quebec City. And it also has a more modern looking typical is that right? Okay, I didn't know that. I never heard that expression. So yeah, where you are, I don't know. You could if you could get a flight that from where you are into Merida, great. It's just that some like I said, sometimes it's just harder to find a direct flight You know, and if you're from Canada, you have to go through like a hub at either Houston or Ohio or something. You know? Oh, there's a lot of panning on this, eh? So yeah, we'll maybe we'll have some news soon. I know that the guys I was talking to the guys in Mexico just last week about trying to figure out, you know, when we can do our thing, and you know, we'll see what COVID allows, you know. So yeah, that was the point of this record, to do really live performance and a jam record, you know, because the other stuff that we had done was so tightly arranged and very, I wanted to do the kind of opposite. That's funny. Or like, you know, Santana and things like that. Some of the bands used to go see where they would do these long exploration jazz odyssey jams, you know. Oh, totally, Andy. I mean, that's... But I thought I'd earned the right by doing so much concise stuff that I thought it would be okay if we did something completely long-winded, you know? So it's like the song that goes on forever, you know, but that was kind of the point. So I'm going to, for Friday's episode, I'm going to play both Beneath the Desert and Mayapan with backing tracks, which are the original demos, and they're actually a little bit longer. And you think that's it? Maybe Ruby's Arizona Michelle. Maybe Ruby's got him in line. You think? So I hope you're enjoying these Slacker performances. I'm going to play a few things, and also I'm going to talk about Scott Matthews and some of our tunes that we did for chord progression. So we put that on the new record Broadcaster, and we put this crazy little riff that Scott came up with. Other tunes that are very 50s and 40s, and like Corona Goodbye, which is really a throwback to early guitarists like Albino Ray and Roy Smack and Pete Drake and all these steel guitar players of way back in the 40s and the Hawaiian craze and the 50s and 60s. Whoa, there it is. Play this. There's Hey Caroline, and there's Broadcaster. that was a little bit of Broadcaster and Corona Goodbye, Sad Sad Day, which is now called the Music School Address, and Battle of Tribulation. And I'm going to play you a little bit of, because those are all orchestrated by the one and only Scott Matthews, I want to play you a rare record. Scott had some success early on in Toronto, being nominated for his CFNY Music Award. Yes, that is the vibe, Caroline. That's what we're doing today. I'm doing my best Howard Stern. Because Friday, it's going to be all playing, and it's going to be very bombastic with all the epic rock instrumentals, ending off with a full 15-minute version of My Pan and a full 15-minute version of Beneath the Desert. Everything from Steve Vai and Frank Zappa and all the Jeff Beck and others that you have come to know, all instrumental. So it's not me doing instrumentals of songs with vocals, it's me doing all the instrumentals. And it's called, what's it called? Strange City. That's what it's called. Now, this record is Scott Matthews, Roll Boys. This is the follow-up to the record that he did that got a lot of attention. It sold several thousand units, albums of his EP, Boats and Rivers, and got a lot of airplay. And then he followed it up in 86 or 85 or 86 with this record. And what's interesting about it is that it has a vocal tune on one side, but I'm not going to play the vocal tune. I'm going to play the B-side, which has got a really cool instrumental, and you'll see Scott's early orchestral and, his early orchestral arrangement skills. And he was using a device called an emulator, which was all over records in the 80s, and an emulator was an early 8-bit sampler. Now, I think this is 45. You can find those links to this stuff on Scott Matthews' website. What is Scott's URL? It's there's another Scott Matthews musician out there, but you can find Scott. Scott Matthews Canada, Scott Matthews musician, Scott Matthews Boats and Rivers. So I haven't heard this in a long time. Let's see what it sounds like. Wow, sounds like Scott. So that's where we're at with me and Scott and Terry and David Barrett Trio, and that's kind of where we've wound up at this stage of life. Now, the thing I'm going to leave you with is I'm very excited that we're going to do a GoFundMe in the new year for the vinyl for Faces in the Stones. And what's great about Faces in the Stones, when did it come out? Like, I don't know, like I think Christmas Day or something did it? Or was that the other record? I can't remember. But maybe it was last year. But anyway, Faces in the Stones is 5 orchestral guitar and orchestra tunes produced by Terry and orchestrated by Scott, and the stuff is written by me. Scott did an interlude in the long Faces in the Stones tune that he composed, but essentially it's DB3 material. And so the songs that are on it are, the first track is Dark Matter, which originally was on a record called Isolated Guitar. And we did a really fun thing with the new D'Angelico. At the time it was new, and my Mac amp, and just guitar and orchestra. And then we did our big version of the Elegant Universe, which is the 12-string loud, the double neck, and this big bombastic orchestra. You can almost see the orcs coming, and they were very Lord of the Rings. And then on the we did a version of Turquoise as well, and then the big tune Faces in the Stones, and it closes out with just a simple unorchestrated track of a new recording of Roots of War. So it has some of my favorite moments over the last 15 or so years of solo stuff, DB3 stuff, but all updated versions. So very exciting, and we really took our time making it. It was our first record we did during COVID, and it just went amazingly well. And I'm going to play you Turquoise now. Thank you, Toronto Michelle. So thanks for listening to this unusual episode, everybody. I really appreciate it. And Andy, thank you for the PayPal donations, the Redbubble sales, the album sales, and the CD sales. And I was going to do, everybody I think probably has a copy of Broadcast, but I was going to say the first 3 people that ask for a copy of Broadcaster, I will throw it in the mail, no charge, if anybody doesn't have a copy. So that's for the reward for listening to me talking and indulging you in all my vinyl stories and everything. Now, we're done the vinyl portion of the program. Actually, I can... Thank you, Megan. That's much appreciated. Yes, Arizona Michelle. I know I have your address somewhere, but message me in Messenger with your address, and I will drop it in the mail tomorrow. Absolutely. Who else? So we got one down. That's Arizona Michelle. Did I miss anybody else? That's right, Andy. You paid for yours. Oh, and you get a card. Now, thank you to Daryl for doing all that business with the Friend of David Barrett cards. If you need one, Daryl's your guy. Ken, are you number 2? Okay, so Ken, message me your address. I know I have it somewhere, but looking up the databasey thing is just too difficult. So message me, and you'll get another card. Who am I missing? So I got Arizona Michelle and Ken and Ruby. I look away from the screen. I'm just trying to see if I missed anything. And yeah, okay, good. Thank you, Helen. Thanks for staying on top of things. There is the highly coveted David Barrett, Friend of Steve Howe, but these are getting scarce. Yeah. Now, exactly, Daryl. Don't even slow down. Just go right out the door, right? Hope that it makes its way to the balcony. I don't think Michelle Japan tuned in tonight. But that's a good idea. Now, to close out, I want to play you the very giant, big, bloated track that we did that Scott and I, it's one of the, and I think, Terry really loved working on this project. He was amazing. I can't tell you how incredible it is to send a track to Terry and have him call you back at 8:39 in the morning with comments and input, and have Scott orchestrating and putting this monstrous track together. It's really a dream come true. And I was just so completely blown away working with these guys. It is just Yeah, well, it's a big giant track, Andy. I wanted to make it like even longer, but this is what it turned into, and it's Faces in the Stones. Now, some of this stuff gets overlooked a little bit because you put out a lot of product, and it goes out in the digital world there and Spotify, and what did I miss? Oh, okay. So this was a big production. And Scott has this crazy software of, I think it's Vienna. I'm not sure which one. I think it's Vienna. Where it's all sampled symphonies. Yeah, Andy, this is pretty great. And, Terry would mix the strings like they're real strings and with all his kind of experience, So we'll be back Friday. Eight o'clock. For a very loud and gratuitous episode. It's okay, Ruth. I'm going to have some ice cream as soon as I finish this episode. Now we got, since Helen is on top of these things, we got a third person for the broadcaster CD. Yeah, apparently the manager is back, Andy. Adam must have one. It's a good one, Helen, maybe. But as long as I got Canon Ruby and I've got Arizona Michelle, Check's in the mail, Ken. Okay, well, we'll put it out there. We can get that third person at a later date if it's not taken. And there's only the friend of David Barrett cards. I think there's 88 tribe members, and there's only 100 cards, so I've got like a dozen, and that's it. Not that they're that sought after, but you know what I mean. Oh, nice. Primus. That's cool. I bet it's going to be a great show. Wow. Okay, well, Dana can send her address, and I can dig it up too. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. Hi to Lance and Mike. I guess Lance and Mike have taken over the Rush Camp because I think that, or the Overtime Angels, I think that Jim is too swamped with work. Good night, Andy. We're shutting her down in just a few minutes here. Thank you, Toronto Michelle. That was a fun one for me and a little bit of a night off. So good night, Mom and Dad. See you, Deb. Thank you. Yeah, it was a little bit different, Deb. Now this is the, just for those curious folks, this section coming up now is Scott's orchestral interlude. And I thought it worked. It's a very strange tune, but it's a very strange long song, but this is Scott's. Good night, Daryl. Thank you. Thank you, Nina. Nina Buckingham. What was the name that we came up with the other night? I'm glad you like the stories, Ruth. I'm glad somebody likes them. This will keep the stories to a minimum for the next couple of weeks. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for the backdrop of bears and where'd the alien hot tub go? That's the coolest thing. Absolutely, Arizona Michelle. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Now this is the finale, or the fourth part, depending on how many sections you're divvying up this whole piece. But this is me on playing software instruments. I'm typing in this. It's actually a Fender Rhodes electric piano, but I'm typing it in. Hey, John McReason. Do we know John? Is John new? Am I missing something here? Hello, John. Nice to see you tune in. Even the Tubular Bells are typed in, but Scott did the bulk of the orchestration. I am talking about a couple of minor things that I threw in. Oh, right on. Hello, France. That's great to hear. Much appreciated. We do have a couple regular listeners. There's Claudia in Germany and Fred in the UK. But it's great to see somebody from France. Yeah, Arizona Michelle, those are software instruments that you can use the actual keyboard just to type in the parts and edit them a little bit later without an actual keyboard. That's me on bass guitar there too. Very Chris Squire-y. But Scott really worked hard on this record, and it's amazing the work that he did. I just gave him some guitar parts. This is the Mike Oldfield. Can't forget Michelle from Japan, Ruth Theoman. So that's it. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that. That was really fun for me to talk about records and stuff. So, and it's nice to have people listen. So. Hey, Joe. Yeah, playing records, doing all kinds of things. A little bit of playing guitar, a lot of stories. And, yeah, it's getting late in France, isn't it? It must be like 4 a.m. or something, no? Thank you, Ken. Your CD. Look on the balcony for your CD. I'm a good what's the word? My throwing arm's not so bad. We'll see. Yes. Oh, well, yeah, looking forward to Rush Camp. I hope that happens next year. And we'll see you 8 o'clock on Friday. It promises to be very loud with a lot of guitar story. I almost said guitar stories. A lot of guitar solos. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night. And we'll see you Friday, and thank you so much for listening.